Back. Let's also welcome back my old colleague from the House, still a young man, but I mean, we were there a few years ago. The former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Pete Hoekstra from Newsmax, Washington. Pete, to continue the conversation, it's an interesting thought to hear Putin's former economic advisor saying that this is just a way to prepare for an extended confrontation with us. Do you buy that?
Yeah, I buy part of it. I don't think that in his calculations, President Putin anticipated a 40% collapse in the price of oil. But I do believe that his strategy has been continued confrontation with the West, telling the Russian people that, whatever economic problems that they may have are a result of outside influence, outsiders attacking Russia. What Putin wants to do is he wants to try to recreate the big Russia that existed before. The greater Russia is what his vision is. And he sees a vacuum where that can happen.
Often in politics, someone in charge will play the blame game. It was interesting in the televised kind of town hall format that Putin had there on Russian television. He quantified what he thought the damage of our sanctions against them were. He said it was only about 30% of the factors involved in the meltdown of the ruble and the other problems. Why do you think he tried to quantify it, and do you think he's right in that estimation?
I think he's probably right. I think when you take a look at what's happening in Russia economically, sure, sanctions are playing a part. But the bigger problem that Putin has had, and like I said, the part that he did not anticipate, and which most of the world didn't anticipate, they did not anticipate the collapse of oil prices and energy prices. And what that does for Putin, it creates some real problems. Number one, it reduces the revenues flowing into Russia. Number two, it will create opportunities for Europe to become less dependent on Russia. And, so the President Putin is quantifying this to say, the West cannot have that much of an impact on us, but have no question about it, the West is attacking Russia. That is his message. The Russians and Putin see the threat from the West, or they're articulating the threat from the West as being one where the West wants regime change in Russia. They want Putin gone, and they want to fundamentally change Russian society and Russian government. It is an existential threat to Putin and to the Russian people. This is what Putin needs to do to make sure that he stays in power.
And mindful of his power, and mindful of what you say is his vision of a, quote, greater Russia, why this morning, at least this morning our time, did he say that Russia is ready to mediate the Ukraine crisis? Why now? Is that just window dressing? Got about a minute left.
Yeah, right, JD, you and I have been talking about Putin and Russia for a number of months now. Yeah, I think this is just a soft expression to the Russian people saying it's not our fault. We're willing to work with the West. In reality, I don't believe a word of it. Some would say there may be some substance because he wants to negotiate so that he can ease the burden on the Russian people. I don't think so. I don't think he's ready to mediate. I don't think he's ready to negotiate. He's going to continue down this track, and he's going to keep Russia going down that track as long as he's in power.
Fair enough. Pete Hoekstra, as always, we appreciate your analysis of these events and the story behind the story, if you will. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for checking in from Newsmax and Washington. Appreciate it, my friend. Hey, hour 2 of America's Forum is coming up, included in our guest, Congressman Marsha Blackburn. So keep it right here.